Hello, this is a video about rational numbers. In this video, we're going to talk about what rational numbers are and how to distinguish them from other numbers. So the root word in rational numbers is the word ratio, okay? And a ratio means fraction. So when we're talking about rational numbers, we're talking about fractions, but there's specific types of fractions, okay? So what we want to do is we want to write this out as the number a divided by b, okay? So we're in the form of a divided by b, where b cannot equal 0, okay? And the reason is because you can't divide by 0. And that's all a fraction is. A fraction really just shows the division of two numbers. Now we have specific properties of rational numbers. And the first property is that the decimal terminates. And what that means is that the decimal stops, okay? The decimal doesn't continue on, all right? And then there's a second property. And that's that the decimal repeats, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you examples of rational numbers and then examples of numbers that are not rational, okay? And we would call those irrational, but let's take a look. Okay, so these are examples of rational numbers, and I'm going to show you why these numbers are rational. If you were to go into your calculator and find the decimal value for 1 over 2 or 1/2, then all you're doing is taking 1 and dividing it by 2. And in the calculator, if you do 1 divided by 2, you get the number 0.5. Okay, and what I mean by with the decimal stopping or the decimal terminating is that you get 0.5 and there are no other numbers that are going to come after 5. Okay, so this is a terminating decimal. Now 1/3, that would be the number, if you do 1 divided by 3 in the calculator, you get 0.33333, and that number repeats. Okay, so this is a repeating decimal, okay, that the numbers repeat. Now, if I do 3/4 and do that as a decimal, then that's going to give me the value of 0.75. Again, this number, the decimal terminates, it stops, okay, after 0.75. There's no other numbers after that. Now, if I do the number 6 over 1, this is kind of a unique number. This is actually going to be a whole number or an integer, and so what you get, 6 divided by 1, you get 6.0, which is really just the same thing as 6, okay? So anytime that you have a whole number, an integer, and these numbers could be negative. Like, let me think of another example. Let's do -3 over 8, okay? If I were to find the decimal approximation of that, that's going to give us a value of -0.375, okay? Because that number, that decimal terminates, we can call it, a rational number. And let me just come up with another example here. Let's think of the number 2 over 9. Okay, and let's make that negative. So -2 over 9 is simply the number -0.222 repeating, okay? And so this is a way for us to describe what rational numbers are. Now let's take a look at some numbers that are not rational. Okay, these are examples of non-rational numbers. Now, the first one I want to look at is 22/7. Now, if I take 22 and divide it by 7, we get this number here. We're going to get the number 3.14287. Now, when you look at this number, the decimals don't have any pattern to them. They don't repeat, okay? So, these are just random numbers, all right? Let's take a look at 47 divided by 23, and that's going to give us a number of 2.043478. There's no pattern to this number, okay? So there's no this is a non-repeating decimal. Let's take -5 divided by 19. This is going to give me a value of 0.263157. Okay, and these numbers keep going. I'm stopping at a certain point on the calculator because I'm just to save room. But these numbers are going to, they're not going to repeat and they're never going to end. They're just going to keep giving you random numbers. All right, if I take 7/31, and this number was negative, this first one over here, 7/31 gives you a value of 0.225806. So the properties of these numbers, these are non-rational numbers, and these decimals don't repeat and they don't end. And because these decimals don't repeat and don't terminate, they're not rational numbers, but what we're going to call them is irrational. So that's all I have for this video. Remember, all we're doing is just classifying numbers, all right? So in order to find the decimal approximation, you want to use division on these numbers to get the decimal approximation, and that'll tell you what kind of number it is. Thanks. See ya. Bye.